Hey there, welcome to this Yoga for Tennis video. Thank you so much for joining. My name is Collie. We're going to be doing a short and sweet class. It's going to be 30 minutes or so. Very much open to beginners to yoga. We're going to focus on a few different things, loosening out the shoulders, finding a bit of space in the side body. We'll think about strengthening up some areas too, so outer hip. Think about the glutes, the calves, strong feet as well. I know there's a lot of sprinting and kind of darting around the court. You need strong legs for that kind of stuff. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. We're going to start in a seated position. All you need is your mat. Let's begin cross-legged. And go ahead and kind of have a play around with which leg you prefer putting in front. Maybe it's right, maybe it's left. You could even just, like, if it's more accessible to you, to straighten out the legs. And maybe get any kind of fidgeting out the way before you find a little bit of stillness. You could roll the shoulders, shake out the head, wiggle the jaw. And then before we kind of move into the class, let's just enjoy a minute or so of stillness, perhaps closing your eyes. And just taking a moment really just to transition into the class, take a step back from whatever you were doing previously and start to sharpen up your focus. You can hopefully start to notice how your body is feeling in this seated position, allowing your sitting bones, your legs and your feet to feel nice and heavy. And go ahead and really soften the shoulders, soften the skin on the face. And then take your attention to your breathing, and let's just enjoy maybe 30 seconds or so of simply following the breath in and out, noticing both your inhale and your exhale, and just paying attention to how it feels to breathe. Notice the sensations that are linked and associated with breathing. You can pay attention to how it sounds. And maybe even think about the biomechanics of breathing. So if you're breathing into your upper body, if you're breathing quickly, if you're breathing shallow, just make an effort to lengthen your inhale. Ensure that your lower belly is expanding out as you breathe in, and then making sure to exhale fully. 3 or 4 more slow breaths, making them nice and soft. And really just making sure that your attention and your focus is directed in towards the breath. Taking your time to gently relax your hands down by your sides, and we'll bring a bit of movement into it from here. You can keep your eyes closed or maybe open them. With the next inhale, lift the arms above the head and bring your hands together. And as you exhale, gently lower them back down. Try and keep your arms straight if you can. A couple more times. Breathing in, arms up. And then breathing out, arms down. As you come into it a third time, hands together, we're going to come into a twist from here. Right hand going down towards the left knee. Place your left hand behind you. You may need to shuffle around a little bit. You want to puff up the chest. Ultimately look over left shoulder. And go ahead and take a couple of slow breaths here, just enjoying the kind of spinal twist. Hopefully should feel pretty good. Before coming out of it and sweeping your left hand all the way over towards your right knee, let's do the same thing here. We want our spine to be straight, crown of the head to be high, and then maybe looking over right shoulder. Keep your breath as soft as you can. Before coming out of it slowly, and let's interlock the fingers around the back of the head. We're going to target the neck here. Think of drawing your chin towards your chest. Allow your head to feel nice and heavy. Sweep your elbows in towards each other rather than splaying them out to the sides. Just 2 or 3 deep breaths into whatever you can feel on the back of your neck. Before relaxing your hands down by your sides, a couple more movements into the neck. Let's interlock fingers around the back this time. Slide your hands over towards the right side of the hip, so just by the pelvis there, and then allow your head to drop down to your right shoulder. And here hopefully you can feel that kind of lengthening down the entire left side of that massive muscle in your neck. Couple of breaths. You can look down, you can look high, just sort of targets different areas of that muscle. And then sweep the hands over to the other side. Let's do the same thing here. Relax into it. Take as long as you need. And come out of it slowly. Now let's shake out the hands and we'll make our way to our all fours. So you can come onto your hands and your knees. A couple of cat-cow poses just to loosen out the spine. Breathing in, soften your belly down towards the ground. You can look forwards. And then with the exhale, draw your chin back in towards your chest. And start to round your back. Breathing in, belly goes down, collarbones broaden. And then with the breath out, come back in and push with your fingers so you're making space in between your shoulder blades. A couple more times. Breathing in, open out to your cow. And then breathing out, round into your cat. Try and exaggerate it. Maybe a nice one to close your eyes. When you're done, let's take a seat. We'll interlock the fingers behind us. We're going to target the shoulders specifically in our rabbit pose. Take a fold so your chest smothers your thighs. Allow the forehead to rest on the mat. And you can really take it however you want to take it. Sweep your arms up and over the head until you start to feel a little bit of heat, a little bit of tension in the shoulders, muscles around the arms and the shoulders. Breathe. You can see why it's called the rabbit pose, with the ears sweeping up towards the ceiling. And then gently come out. We're going to kind of swiftly head up towards our downward dog from here. You may want to focus on your hands and your wrists for a moment, give them a little bit of a warm up. You can point the fingers in towards each other and rock from side to side, or maybe take the fingers out towards the sides and do the same thing. And then when you're good, let's place the hands on the mat, kind of hard, tuck your toes, lift the knees off, and we'll launch up into our downward facing dog. Upside down triangle position, so the bum and the hips are high, the head is low. And maybe bend your knees quite a lot if that helps. Don't worry too much about the heels reaching down towards the ground. Have a look at your hands. Let's make sure the fingers are really nice and wide. Hands can be shoulder width, and then feet can be hip width. Take a moment to really relax your head and your face, and then a long breath in and a long breath out. With the next inhale, take the right leg up towards the ceiling, nice and straight. Kick your heel away from you, flex your foot, gaze forwards. Find a space in between your hands and try and step there. Now if the foot doesn't make it, don't worry about it, just shuffle the foot forwards. Drop your back knee, left knee goes down, and then lift the arms above the head and we'll come into a low lunge. So nice pose just to really kind of stretch out the quads and the hip flexors on the left side here. Maybe shuffle the right foot forwards if that helps. You can scoop your chest towards the ceiling, relax your shoulders. Breathe. When you're good to come out, let's sweep the hands down and we'll take them inside the right foot. And we'll shuffle the right foot all the way out towards the right. And here you can enjoy a lizard pose, just targeting the groin, stretching the legs out a little bit. You can come onto your forearms if that feels good. Maybe that's inaccessible, pushing it too far. Just stay on the hands. Wherever you are, take the time just to really focus on the feelings, the sensations. Take a couple of deep breaths into it. And before returning to your hands, if you're on your forearms, and let's shuffle the foot back into the middle, and we'll enjoy half splits from here. So targeting the hamstrings, you can draw your bum back towards left heel. Try and keep a little gap between the heel and the bum. You can point toes towards face. Maybe lift up the chest a little bit, keep your hips square, and again just a couple of deep breaths into it before rolling forwards. And let's frame our right foot with our hands. We'll step back to our plank and enjoy a gentle vinyasa by dropping the knees, the chest, the chin, all the way down. Finding a cobra by lifting the chest, pressing with the hands. Slight bend in the back, take your time with it, particularly first time in this pose. You may want to look left, look right. Bit of a movement into the shoulders, roll them, and then push yourself back to your downward facing dog. Take your time. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So from your downward dog, left leg high, step in between the hands, drop the back knee, and then lift the arms. And preferably straight arms, so biceps kind of squeezing in towards the head. And then go deep into your hips. Soft breath, enjoy it. Before taking the hands down, and let's take them inside the left foot. Shuffle left foot out to the left. You may want to shuffle the back knee away if that feels good for you. Arms go down. Maybe it's just hands on the mat. Good one to close the eyes and just really kind of immerse yourself in where it is you feel anything from this pose. And before coming back onto your hands, let's take it to our half splits. So the left leg straightens, you can really kick your heel away from you as you point your toes towards the face. Lift your chest. Breathe. And then come through. So we'll roll on forwards, step back to our plank. And again, a gentle vinyasa from your plank position. Drop knees, drop chest and chin. Full inhale as you lift up. You want to really broaden the collarbones in your cobra. And then push back. Downward dog. Let's meet there. And spread your fingers nice and wide. Give your head a little bit of a shake out. Roll the shoulders. Maybe even pedal the feet to bring a bit of warmth into the muscles on the backs of your legs. Not only that, but also a good one just to check in with how you're feeling. And then we'll continue to move from our downward dog. Let's lift the right leg up towards the ceiling. You can take the gaze forwards. Try and find that space to step into again. And then lift the arms above the head. We'll come into a high lunge. So left knee stays off the ground. Now you might need to take your time to get your balance. Make sure both feet are really active. And then open it out to your warrior two. So back foot will go down as the arms sweep wide. And maybe it might be nice to shake out the arms a little bit. Fingers behind the back, interlock them. Could feel good on the shoulders. And then we'll sweep our arms so they're kind of symmetrical, extending away from each other. Go deep into your right knee. And then notice your left foot as well. Try and press down quite hard on it. Let's look over the right hand and we'll flip the palm and reverse our warrior. Left hand, left thigh, right arm all the way up towards the ceiling, nice and straight. Really go and exaggerate it by deep lunging into the knee and then reaching a little bit high with the right fingertips. Really great stretch for the muscles in between your ribs. When you're good to move, let's cartwheel our arms down to the ground and we'll step back to our plank. And again, I recommend for today just knees, chest, chin, all the way down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, push back, down dog. And the same thing on the other side, left leg high. Step forwards a little bit lighter, a little bit softer. Engage your core and squeeze your thighs together to help lift your arms. Come into your high lunge. And then see if you can place the back foot down at the same time as sweeping your arms wide. And again, you may need to take a little bit of movement just to ease into it. Have a look at your left knee and try and nudge it towards your little toe rather than your big toe. Soften the breath, soften the shoulders. And then let's look over the palm. We'll flip it and reverse it. Couple of deep breaths, finding that space in the side body whilst also keeping a strong left quad before releasing by cartwheeling your arms. Make sure your fingers are wide as they touch the mat. Step back quietly to your plank and then look slightly forwards as you drop your knees, your chest, your chin. Find a cobra, so we're breathing in as we lift up the chest fully and then breathing out as we push back to our downward facing dog. Taking a moment there. Nice long breath in and a long breath out. Before taking tiptoes on the feet, bend your knees and take a step or a jump to the front of the mat. We're going to find a bit of strength in the glutes. We'll bring the feet together. Bend your knees and lift your arms up. Coming into your chair pose. So here you really want the glutes to be kind of doing the work. You want the weight of the body in your heels. Maybe all 10 toes can even lift up off the ground. This core is stretching out. Look up high. Breathe. Before gently forward folding. All the way down. Softly bend your knees. Shuffle your feet, maybe hip distance apart, and gently uncurl. We'll come up to a standing pose. As you come standing up tall, I want you to lift up the arms, open out your chest, look up towards the sky, and then bring your hands to heart center. And we're going to enjoy a little bit of balancing from here. You can bring your right knee towards your chest. Let's lift up, flex the foot, whoa, flex the foot, grab hold of the knee with both of your hands. Just take your time to prepare yourself. Flexing your right foot will definitely help your balance. Left hand, left hip. We could open out the knee to the right side. Maybe left hand goes out to the left. You can stay here. Maybe test yourself by looking over to your left hand. Now just notice the left foot here, your standing leg, keeping it strong. Micro bend in the knee will help. Breathe. And we'll take it to a tree pose from here. So right foot's going to go to the left thigh. Maybe it goes to the left calf if that's a bit more accessible. Try and steer clear of the knee if you can. And then once you're in place, hands to heart could be an option. Hands up above the head, pistol grip. Maybe if you really want to test it, you could close your eyes. See how long you can stand on one foot with your eyes closed. Super challenging. Before coming back to center. And we'll float our right foot all the way to the back of the mat from here. I want you to take it nice and slowly. Take a step down and then lower the right knee. Breathe in, lift up your arms, and then just to find a bit of strength from your low lunge this time, let's come onto the top of the back foot. So your right foot presses down to lift the right knee off the ground. So you're really using your hip flexors here for strength. Look up high and then move on down with the hands and step back to your plank. Now before we take a vinyasa, we're going to take a little side plank. You can roll onto the right side of the right foot. You can bring the right hand into the middle of your mat. Now please feel free to drop the right knee if you need the support. Otherwise go ahead and keep both knees off the ground. You can flex your feet. You can lift the left hand up as well. Maybe you can lift the hips a little bit higher. Could even take the left foot off the right leg. Wherever you are, breathe softly and then come back to your plank. This is where we'll take another vinyasa. You can drop the knees, relax the tops of the feet, lower chest and chin. Inhale fully, and then exhale fully. We'll make our way from our downward dog to the front of the mat. So tiptoes, bend knees, step or jump. Find your chair, thighs are together, squeeze them in. Stretch out your core, look up high, and then fold as you breathe out. We'll shuffle the feet hip distance, hip width apart, gently uncurl, come standing. Try and lift the head up last if you can. And then an inhale to lift the arms. Enjoy the stretch, the length. And then we'll bring our hands to heart center and then take it to our balancing on the left side. So left knee comes up. You can take hold of it with both hands just to stabilize yourself. Take as long as you need. And then let's open it out. So left hand takes the knee over to the left. You can look over to the right hand if you want to test it. And wherever you are, think about keeping your breath really soft, smooth, steady. Great one for improving your focus, your concentration. And we'll take the foot into the tree pose from there. And if you notice, once you're in place, try and press the thigh into the foot just as much as the foot into the thigh. You've got your outer hip here, the muscles on the outside of your right leg this time will be engaging to help that. Maybe hands above the head. You can squeeze arms into the ears if you want to. Think about the sides of your upper body reaching high. Maybe eyes are closed before gently floating the left foot all the way to the back of the mat. Let's drop the back knee, we'll take it down, and again lift up the arms into your low lunge, and then hip flexor strength if you're up for it. Top of the left foot goes down, lift the left knee. Squeeze your thighs in, relax shoulders, couple of breaths here, maybe even looking high, and then moving on down as you exhale. Step back plank, and we'll prepare ourselves for our side plank. So maybe left hand comes into the middle first. You can roll onto the left side of the left foot, right foot on top of left, right arm high. Could lift right leg off left leg. Micro bend in the left elbow. Keep Keep lifting the hips nice and high. Think of a banana shape. And then we'll come back to our plank. And then a vinyasa. Dropping knees, chest and chin all the way down. Inhale, lift up, nice bend in the back. And then exhale your way all the way back to your downward dog. We'll gently lower the knees, we'll come onto the ground. We're going to find a camel pose. One of my favorites, opening out the hip flexors. Compress the fingers on the lower back, hands on the bum. Try and keep the hips on top of your knees. You want to squeeze your thighs together as you push your hips forwards. Start to open out your chest fully. Maybe look up towards the ceiling. Don't forget to breathe. And then come back out slowly. And we'll come back into that one in a minute. I'm going to take a little gate pose first to find some space in the side body again. So we'll take the right foot out towards the right. You may need to do what I've done in terms of your positioning, in terms of your space available to you. Once the right leg is long, let's take the left hand down to the left. Reach your right arm up and over. And go ahead and really kind of take a few breaths here, enjoying that length that you can feel down the entire right side of your body. You might want to roll the right shoulder behind you so your shoulders are stacked and your breath is soft. Nice one. Come back to center. Let's bring the right knee in and we'll just roll straight into the same thing on the other side. So left leg is long. You can feel hopefully a decent stretch for the inside of the left leg here as well. A little glance up to the left hand. And then coming back to central position, standing on your knees, and we'll return to our camel. So hip flexors really stretching out here. You may want to take it a little bit further by taking the hands down behind you. You can place the hands on the heels or the soles of the feet, maybe hands on calves. Don't force anything though. You want to keep your quads active and your breath soft. And as you come out, let's place the hands down. We're going to lift up to our downward dog and then ultimately take it to a seated position. So you can kind of head there however you want to. Maybe there's a step, you can cross your feet. Or maybe you could take a little jump from your downward dog, crossing your feet as you do, and just parking the bum down. And we'll extend the legs out in front of us. A little bit of a shake out of the legs if you need to. Let's keep our legs straight as we inhale to lift the arms above the head. And we're going to forward fold. Maybe bend your knees if that helps. And we'll take an inhale to come all the way back out again. So lift the arms up. And then as you breathe out, go ahead and forward fold again. Bend your knees. One more time, breathe in, arms up. Try and lift them a little bit higher. And then with the exhale, reach a little bit longer with your fold. If you're looking down at your knees, natural tendency, maybe look over your toes instead. You can try and find a bit of space in your back and your spine. And then once you've kind of found that space in your upper body, then you can maybe play around with tapping into your hamstrings, straightening one leg, straightening the other. Play around with that. Before gently coming back up, we'll take a seat. We're going to fire up the core a little bit in our boat pose. Knees to chest. You want to grab the backs of your knees. Let's squeeze the thighs in. And maybe just stay here today. You can kind of focus on your balance as you balance on the bum. You may want to take it further and lift the feet up so your shins are parallel to the ground. If your knees are kind of open, bring them in. Release your arms and spread the fingers wide. Toes can be wide as well. Maybe stay here. Or you could take an inhale to come to a low boat, legs going long. And then an exhale to bring the knees back in. Inhale, go long, stretch it out. Exhale, come back. Do that 2 more times. Strong core. Couple more. Don't forget to breathe. And then maybe you could even stay low and paddle the feet out if you want to take it a little bit further. Before returning, come to your boat. Enjoy it for one final breath. Keep the focus. And then very slowly lower yourself. We'll take it all the way down. Onto our backs, onto our legs. You can kind of just take a moment here with the back of the head relaxed, relaxing your arms and your feet. Maybe a nice place to take the hands onto the tummy and the heart. Just closing the eyes, having a little scan through of the body. Notice any kind of changes in the temperature, changes in the way you're breathing, and changes in the way that the heart is beating away. And if you can just take the time to slow the breath down, particularly your exhale, extend your exhale, make it soft and long. Even just 20 or 30 seconds of slower breathing, you can notice the change of pace of heart, hopefully. When you're ready, let's bring the left knee towards the chest. We'll enjoy a couple of twists from here. You can grab the knee with your right hand. You might want to sweep your left arm out towards the left side first, shoulder on the ground, and then take the knee over to the right with your right hand. Once you are in place, maybe a little glance over to your left hand. A couple of breaths here, enjoy it. Good one to really stretch out the glutes. Good one to lengthen spine. Generally just a kind of relaxing, restorative pose. And we'll come back to center and lift the left leg to the ceiling. Straighten out your leg, grab your thigh, grab your calf, muscles, whatever it is, and draw the leg in towards your face. If you have a strap or a belt or a kind of dressing gown cord, you might want to loop it around the ball of the foot just to get a bit more kind of access there. Otherwise, lift up the head. A couple of breaths, point toes to face, really target the muscles in the calves, decent lengthening for them. And then gently lower, take it down softly and slowly. Same thing, other side, right knee high. Let's come into our twist. A lot of rotational movement on the tennis court, particularly when you're hitting those kind of cross court shots. These spinal twists will be really good just to keep the spine in a healthy place. And the strength that you can create in those tree poses and a lot of the lunges and balancing, that'll also help the swing as well, getting power from the legs. Take the gaze over to your right hand here. Soften the breath, maybe relax the jaw. Soften your belly. And then we'll come back to center and lift the right leg to the ceiling. And again, just a little look on the hamstrings here. You can grab whatever you can grab, maybe steer clear of the knee again. Point toes to face, kick heel away. Go ahead and take 2 or 3 slow and deep breaths into whatever it is you feel. Trying to locate the feeling. Breathe there. And then slowly lower yourself, or lower the leg. Try not to slam the leg down. You want to continue to move with control. And before bringing both knees to the chest, we'll take a last little kind of couple of movements here. Maybe just grabbing your knees and rocking from side to side. You can massage the muscles in the back. Maybe you want to wrap your arms around your legs and grab your elbows, squeezing in place. Or maybe a happy baby could feel pretty good here. You can take the knees out to the sides, lift the feet up high, and grab the backs of your knees with your hands. Just gently kind of draw thighs towards ribs. Nice little opening for the legs. Of course, if you want to take it further, grab insides of feet, or even grab big toes. You can straighten out one leg, come back in, and straighten out the other. Maybe even both legs at the same time. And like I say, any last little movements that feel good for you before giving your body the rest that it deserves. We'll find our Shavasana pose. So one last squeeze, wrap arms around your legs, forehead to knees, knees to forehead, and then go ahead and sprawl your arms, sprawl your legs into your most lavish, luxurious, starfish looking shape. Can take a nice deep breath in through the nose, open the mouth and let it go. Maybe a few times if that feels good. Just gently close your eyes as you exhale. And it's worth just taking a moment to scan through your body, going down to the feet and the legs, Just allowing the bones to feel heavy, the muscles to feel soft, skin to relax. Letting go of your legs, your arms, shoulders and back of the head sinking into the ground. Remove any tension from the face as well, soften up, relax your jaw, your temples, your brow. And with the eyes closed, just enjoy a little bit of stillness for your body and also a little bit of stillness for the mind as well. So any disruptions, any urges to fidget, any thoughts, just see if you can push them all to one side just for the next minute or so. Channeling focus, also channeling stillness. And of course, just noticing any kind of wandering off of the mind. If you're already elsewhere mentally, just draw your attention back to the breath, back to your body. Start to lengthen the inhale, lengthen the exhale. Maybe gentle movements, fingers and toes. Could extend the arms for a full body stretch. Might feel pretty good. Just take your time to roll to one side and then lift yourself back up to a seated position. No rushing. And as you find that final place, a seat, maybe just take a moment here where we can relax and again not rush off to the next thing. Might be worth even closing your eyes, taking a little scan through, noticing any changes in the body, changes in the mind, hopefully all good. And then just a little appreciation for your time, your efforts. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for letting me guide you. Nice one. Namaste. Take it very easy. I hope you have a good one, whatever you're up to for the rest of the day. Hope to see you soon. Please feel free to have a look around on my website. There's lots of other videos up there that might be of benefit to you. And stay tuned for more Yoga for Tennis stuff. Take it easy. Bye for now.